When I first got this fish tank, when I first put the fish in this temporary fish tank, it was like the hamster cage, the base of the hamster cage. I did it as a temporary measure, but I just want to show you something. One thing that I've noticed is that the fish are so much more livelier in this tank. They like to gather together. But yeah, even the baby ones are. I don't know if you can see any baby ones. There's about 8 pineapple ones that are really, really small, and they're hiding under there. But they're all getting on. Got a little nursery. The orange and black ones are slightly older, and the pineapple ones are a bit smaller. But yeah, one thing I've noticed is that these guppies seem so much happier. So even though it's a tank like that, so it kind of looks like it's not the right shape, but at the same time I'm noticing that they're looking so much more happier. When I had them in the sort of normal tank, mostly they would just like be still, and okay, maybe they'd move about during the day a little bit more, but I'm noticing that ever since they're in there, they are definitely like so much more excited. I think they like the idea of like exploring all the different things. I need to put some more stones in there. I've got them upstairs. I need to wash them out. But yeah, they just look so much happier in that tank. And it kind of reminds me, I saw this like dining table that had like a little miniature lake in the middle. That I think even I saw two. One that had just one in the middle, and then they put all these little fish in the middle of the dining table, which I thought was a really nice idea. You know, you're eating food and you're looking down at all the little fish swimming around. I think it's quite cool. But yeah, it kind of reminds me of that, like having a small sort of lake in your. That's kind of I like that idea. And they also had another one where they had it going around. They had water in like a circle, and the fish were kind of like circling each other. So that was a really big table. But yes, it reminds me of that, and I just think that they look so much happier in this tank. And I was going to buy like I wasn't sure if I should go for one the same size as the last one, because technically every time I looked at it I did think maybe they're just being still and like not going around much because they're bored and they don't want to just go around, and I'm noticing they're not doing it in this one. They're actually exploring a lot more, although I think I know why it cracked, because when I bought my second tank I noticed it came with a really nice mat underneath, and I thought that was a good idea, but I didn't have a mat for the smaller one, so I kind of put this underneath it. It's kind of like a star, but I thought it was kind of like a good way of like cushioning. But yeah, come to think about the frame, the fish tank, it has like a frame around the outside, and I think the weight is supposed to be distributed mostly around the outside, and because I had this underneath it, it actually had more of the weight inside on top of like on the glass. Basically more of the weight was distributed onto the glass, and that's probably what caused it. I mean, it's been in that position since like July time last year, so it's been like that for a very long time. But yeah, I think it was my fault putting this underneath the board. I should have put like a square one that covered, that reaches the outer reaches this. That's what I did. But anyway, they're okay, and I don't actually, I would buy a new tank, but I think they look too happy in this one, and I think I actually like also looking down on them and seeing how they kind of move around them more. You know, when they're in even though this one's, they're probably about the same amount of water, maybe this one's probably got more water, but only just a little bit. But yeah, that's probably about a 30 litre. It's probably the same as a 30 litre, only it's spread out over a larger area, and I just think they look so much happier because it's almost like they're exploring more area rather than just have it in a smaller area. So I don't know. They look happier is all I'm saying. So I think there's no point of buying it. I was about to. I bidded for a £60 tank, and I just chose not to. But yeah, when I'm looking for signs though about if something's going to happen this year, I don't know. I know there's a lot of stuff happening with Saudi Arabia. There's some sort of something billion-dollar arms deal. I have no idea what that means. Are you just going to like get a bunch of people, chop off their arms and be like, yeah, I've got loads of arms? I don't know. Hopefully not that. But I don't know what's going on with that. Is it a sign that something's happening? I would have said yes, but then again, I have believed that he's known for a year or two or three. I don't know how long. I don't know how long Saudi Arabia or any of the Arab countries. I don't even know if they do know about me. That's the thing. I don't know anything, and I is this a sign that something's going to happen this year? I don't know, but I keep seeing signs every single year that something is going to happen each year, and it doesn't. But I had a meeting with the GP about about seeing if I can get some sort of benefit claim. Because I don't work, I'm living off next to nothing. It's just making me incredibly angry. I have now a huge amount of anger for anyone really. I have an anger for you if you're living in a nice home, because I never got to do that. Or I mean, I've got a nice home here. This is quite a nice. This house is the sort of minimum that I'd want to live in. I just would have preferred to live it in London or just in the south somewhere it's a little bit warmer. And although strangely enough, we've not had rain. It rained down in the south for like a day or two. But yeah, it's my lake, my pond. I have a little pond, and it's completely dry. There was nothing in there. I had a huge bush of yellow flowers, and they've all died. So, I mean, the bush itself is okay, but all the petals have fallen off. And I know last week it was just full of yellow petals, and I don't know. They don't last for more than a few weeks. But so have they died because of the lack of water, the no water in the pond, or I don't know. But I had to put like 5 water tanks, 5 water, whatever that thing is. I've forgotten the name of it. Water tank or whatever. But yeah, and you know, my tomatoes are doing very well though. But there's no tomatoes. But there is definitely they've grown a lot, and I've got a little greenhouse now that I've put up in the. Although they gave me the wrong frame, and that's very annoying. But anyway, because I've tried to pop up. It's a square. They've given me a square frame, but the cover is like an arch cover, so there's nothing holding the top part of it, which is very annoying. I've tried to get 2 pieces of wire together so that I can form it, but it doesn't seem to be. It's fallen off, and I have to keep like moving about. I'll do it tomorrow. Yeah, is there anything? I don't know. It could still happen this year. And I probably shouldn't be bothered about the Virgin Active claim, because I'm pretty sure I can call up Virgin Active and just say it was a mistake. I don't know if I am going to America this year. I think it's wrong how they have that. You can get a good deal providing you sign up for 2 years, and if say a month or 2 later you go abroad, you have to pay. I think they said 80% of the full amount. So I don't mind if there's like a whole year. I don't mind paying like a whole year or something, but to pay 2 whole years, I think that's wrong. I think that should be illegal. If you've signed up for a 2-year agreement and you go abroad, I think you should there should be a maximum of 50% of what the 2-year claim is, because I've been on Virgin for 8 years. To be on a internet service for 8 years, and I know I think there was a deal that I'm supposed to be paying like £60, but I managed to get it for 40, and then there was a sort of another deal that made it about 30 or 27. I know it was 27, then it went up to 30, and this month it's gone up to 40, but I know the end of next month is going to go back up to 60. So I needed to change it by the end of next month, because there's no way I could afford £60 for the internet. But I think it's really wrong if you've been on something for 8 years using the same box, haven't had any maintenance, haven't had any hassle of sending people around to fix things, and then your contract runs out, you can't afford to pay 60 a month, so you say, okay, I want to pay 30 a month, and then a few months later you move abroad and you have to pay the whole £800 worth of 2-year contract. I think that's wrong. I don't think it should be legal, because if it's a new thing and you've just got someone to send you a new box, if you just signed up to something and you've wasted someone's time with engineering or fitting in and doing that, then okay, I can imagine it. But if you've been signed up to a service for 8 years, and then they start charging you twice as much, and then you have to sign up for another 2 years, and a few months later you realise that you can't fulfil the rest of the 2 years, I think it's completely wrong how they would make you pay. Maybe for a year, but I don't think 2-year internet. Well, you can have 2-year internet contacts, because that's good, because I don't like having to keep calling people up. If there's going to be 30 this year and 33 next year, and therefore I don't have to, and then 37 the year before, the year after. That's kind of the agreement, but I can end it after 2 years. So I think that is a good idea. But if someone wants to move abroad, I think there should be a 1 year. You shouldn't be expected to pay 80% of the 2 years. I think 50% is You know, I don't mind just paying 300 and just ending the contract, but to pay 800 to end the contract, well, if it's 80% of 800, then it would be 700. But yeah, I don't think that's right. If you've been on a service for eight years, and then you realise you're moving abroad and you need to cancel the service, you shouldn't have to pay £800 to do it. You know, I think that should be illegal. But yes, I like looking at my fish.